Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. Justice Hema Committee report on sexual harassment of women in Malayalam cinema. Union Cabinet approved 12 new industrial nodes under NICDP. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways launched Voluntary Vehicle Modernization Program or Vehicle Scraping Policy. Union Cabinet approved expansion of Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Death of Namibian Cheetah at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Pacific Islands Forum endorsed the Australia-funded Pacific Policing Initiative. In a prominent step towards addressing the deep-rooted issues of sexual harassment in the Malayalam film industry, the Justice Hema Committee report has sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. Formulated on the directions of the Kerala government, the report lays bare the harsh realities faced by women in cinema. The findings are alarming, revealing the existence of power groups that exploit their positions, rampant couch casting, and the glaring absence of basic facilities like toilets, changing rooms, and safe transportation for female actors and crew. The issues brought to light by the committee have rekindled the Me Too movement, serving as a grim reminder that the battle against sexual harassment in the workplace is far from over. The report underscores the widespread male domination that pervades the industry, where sexual favors are often demanded for career advancement. It also highlights the growing menace of online harassment, where women are trolled and threatened with vulgar content. A critical factor contributing to this hostile environment is the non-compliance with legal mandates. Many establishments fail to establish or effectively operate internal complaint committees or ICCs as required under the POSH Act 2013. The law mandates an ICC in all establishments with 10 or more employees, with the majority of women members, but the reality is often different. The committee's recommendations are bold and transformative. They call for a reimagining of the portrayal of women in cinema, suggesting that they be depicted in powerful roles such as civil servants, ambassadors, and leaders. Additionally, gender awareness training programs are recommended to promote the idea of women as equals, while masculinity is redefined to embody justice, equality, and compassion, distancing it from the traditional notions of violence and aggression. Femininity needs to be divorced from passiveness and silent suffering. Furthermore, the report advocates for the creation of a welfare fund to support women who need to take a break from their careers due to childbearing, health issues, or other responsibilities. These measures aim to create a safer, more equitable working environment for women in the industry. The report also touches upon existing measures that have been implemented to combat sexual harassment in the workplace. From the Indecent Representation of Women Act of 1987 to landmark judgments like Vishakha and others versus State of Rajasthan 1997, which established the employer's duty to prevent harassment. The recent Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 addresses sexual offences against women and children. Lastly, government initiatives such as She-Box and Working Women Hostels are also part of this broader effort to protect women in the workforce.
Moving ahead in the news, the Union Cabinet recently approved the development of 12 new industrial nodes and cities under the National Industrial Corridor Development Program. These ambitious projects spanning 10 states and planned along 6 major corridors aim to transform India's industrial landscape by creating world-class infrastructure and fostering economic growth. The key highlight of this approval is the focus on developing smart cities and modern infrastructure. These new industrial cities will be designed as greenfield smart cities, built to global standards and tailored to meet future demands. The plug-and-play and walk-to-work concept will be central to their design. A critical aspect of these projects is their alignment with the PM Gati Shakti initiative, which emphasizes an area approach for seamless connectivity. These industrial nodes will feature multi-modal connectivity infrastructure, ensuring the efficient movement of people, goods, and services. By integrating these new cities with the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, the government aims to create a robust network that supports industrial growth and improves logistics across the country. The National Industrial Corridor Development Program is a flagship initiative aimed at developing futuristic industrial cities in India. These cities are envisioned to be smart cities that can compete with the best manufacturing and investment destinations globally. The program is implemented by the National Industrial Corridor Development and Implementation Trust, which is responsible for overseeing the development of these corridors and ensuring they meet international standards. Currently, 11 industrial corridors have been approved for implementation by the Union government. These corridors are designed to catalyze economic development by creating state-of-the-art industrial infrastructure, attracting investments, and generating employment opportunities.
In a prominent move towards a cleaner and greener India, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has launched the Voluntary Vehicle Modernization Program, also known as Vehicle Scrapping Policy. This ambitious initiative aims to tackle the growing problem of pollution by phasing out unfit commercial and passenger vehicles strictly based on their fitness rather than age. Under this policy, unfit and polluting vehicles will be scrapped at registered vehicle scraping facilities or RVSFs, and their fitness will be evaluated at automated testing stations or ATS. The policy offers a win-win for vehicle owners, as multiple commercial and passenger vehicle manufacturers are set to offer discounts on new purchases, valid for 2 years and 1 year respectively, against a scrappage certificate. The significance of this policy cannot be overstated. It is expected to reduce vehicular emissions by 15 to 20%, as scrapping old end-of-life vehicles is crucial in this regard. To put it into perspective, one old car emits as much as 11 new cars, while one old truck emits as much as 14 new trucks, according to MORTH. But the benefits don't stop here. The policy is also set to improve fuel efficiency, leading to lower maintenance costs for vehicles. By transforming the existing informal vehicle scrappage ecosystem, it ensures formalization and compliance with environmental norms. Moreover, it provides low-cost raw materials for the automotive, steel, and electronics industries, boosting sales and generating employment. However, the road ahead is not without its challenges. With only 60+ registered vehicle scraping facilities across 17 states and 75+ automated testing stations across 12 states currently operational, the infrastructure is still far from adequate. Additionally, the dismantling and disposal of hazardous waste, often handled by the informal sector, pose significant environmental and health risks.
Moving ahead, the Union Cabinet has recently approved the progressive expansion of the Central Sector Scheme under the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund to make it more attractive, impactful, and inclusive for farmers and stakeholders across the agricultural value chain. One of the key highlights of this expansion is the focus on viable farming assets. The scheme will now allow all eligible beneficiaries to create infrastructure covered under viable projects aimed at building community farming assets. Another significant update is the inclusion of integrated primary and secondary processing projects in the list of eligible activities under the AIF. In a strategic move, the expansion also allows the convergence of Component A of the PM Kusum scheme with the AIF. This convergence will enable farmers, groups of farmers, farmer producer organizations or FPOs, cooperatives, and panchayats to access financing for solar projects alongside other agricultural infrastructure projects. Additionally, the expansion introduces NAB Sanrakshan, a wholly owned subsidiary of NABARD, as an entity to extend AIF credit guarantee coverage to FPOs. This is in addition to the existing Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for micro and small enterprises. Now, if we talk about the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund itself, then it is a medium to long-term debt financing facility designed to support investment in viable projects related to post-harvest management infrastructure and community farming assets through interest subvention and credit guarantee support. The scheme provides Rs 1 lakh crore in loans from banks and financial institutions with an interest subvention of 3% per annum and credit guarantee coverage for loans up to Rs 2 crores under CGT MSE. However, challenges persist in India's agricultural infrastructure, particularly in upstream and downstream activities. On the upstream side, there are issues such as inadequate irrigation infrastructure with around 51% of net sown area still rain-fed, poor farm mechanization, limited soil testing facilities, and a lack of adequate cold storage infrastructure. On the downstream side, issues like limited food processing facilities, inefficient supply chain management, and poor market intelligence often lead to phenomena like the cobweb phenomenon, where price fluctuations cause instability in agricultural markets. Addressing these challenges through initiatives like the expanded AIF is crucial for ensuring the sustainability and profitability of Indian agriculture. Moving ahead in the news, the death of the last free-ranging Namibian cheetah in Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh has raised significant concerns over the viability of Project Cheetah. With this loss, KNP is now left with 24 cheetahs, including 12 adults and 12 cubs, as conservationists and wildlife experts re-evaluate the challenges faced in reintroducing this extinct large carnivore species to India. Project Cheetah, launched in 2022, was initiated to introduce the only extinct large carnivore species, the cheetah. The cheetahs were sourced from South Africa and Namibia with the aim of reviving not only the cheetah population but also the grassland ecosystems they inhabit. The project promised to safeguard the prey base, including threatened species, and protect other endangered species in grasslands and open forest ecosystems. However, the challenges faced by cheetahs in Kuno National Park have become increasingly apparent. One of the most significant issues has been the biorhythm challenges that these animals face due to the differences in circadian rhythms between the northern and southern hemispheres. This has resulted in some cheetahs developing thick winter coats during the Indian summer and monsoon, a physiological response more suited to the African winter. To address these biorhythm complications, India considered sourcing new cheetahs from Somalia, Tanzania, Sudan, and other range countries closer to the equator or in northern hemisphere. Another critical challenge has been the low prey density in Kuno National Park. The current prey density is approximately 22 individuals per square kilometer, whereas density of 35 to 40 individuals per square kilometer is required to sustain a healthy cheetah population. In response to these challenges, the Indian government and wildlife authorities are considering alternative locations to support the cheetah population. Gandhi Sagar and Nauradehi wildlife sanctuaries in Madhya Pradesh are being explored as potential sites to manage and possibly expand the cheetah population. These areas may offer better conditions in terms of prey density and habitat suitability, providing the cheetahs with a better chance of survival.
In a significant development for regional security, the Pacific Islands Forum or PIF has officially endorsed the Australia-funded Pacific Policing Initiative or PPI. This initiative, designed to bolster the law enforcement capabilities of Pacific nations, comes at a crucial time when internal security threats and law and order challenges are escalating across the region. The PPI not only enhances the policing infrastructure of these nations, but also aligns seamlessly with the Pacific Islands Forum's 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent, a vision aimed at fostering resilience and sustainable growth. However, the endorsement of the PPI is more than just a step towards internal security. It is a strategic move in the broader geopolitical chess game unfolding in the Pacific. Analysts are quick to point out that this initiative could be a counterbalance to China's growing influence in Pacific security. The Pacific Islands Forum, established in 1971, stands as the region's premier political and economic policy organization. With 18 member countries scattered across the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, the PIF is dedicated to promoting a vision of peace, harmony, and prosperity. But the vision is under constant threat from a host of issues. Climate change tops the list, with PIF members among the worst affected globally by rising sea levels, ocean warming, and acidification. The region is also caught in the crossfire of a geopolitical power struggle as China and USA strike for influence. Furthermore, the Pacific Islands are increasingly being exploited as transit points for international drug trafficking, making the need for enhanced law enforcement capabilities all the more urgent. India too has recognized the strategic importance of the Pacific region. The Pacific Islands are vital to India's energy security and maritime interests, aligning with New Delhi's broader strategy of maintaining a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Through initiatives like the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative 2019 and the Forum for India-Pacific Islands Cooperation 2014, India is deepening its engagement, ensuring that the Pacific remains a region for peace and stability.
In today's Place in News, we will talk about Republic of Chile with its capital, Santiago. It is in news as the External Affairs Minister discussed bilateral issues in his latest visit to Chile. Talking about its political features, it is a long, narrow country in South America with a maximum width of 110 miles, that is 178 kilometers. It shares its boundaries with Peru and Bolivia to the north and Argentina to its east, and lastly, it is bordered by the Pacific Ocean on the west. Looking at its geographical features, it is arranged as 3 parallel north-south units with the Andes Mountains, which is the longest mountain chain in the world, to the east, the Intermediate Depression or Longitudinal Valley in the center, and the coastal ranges to the west. It includes the Atacama Desert, which is the driest non-polar desert. Its longest river is Loa, rising from Andes. Moreover, its major volcanoes are Calbuco, Chaitin, Villarrica, etc. The major minerals it possesses are copper, lithium, etc. Also, it is a part of the Lithium Triangle along with Argentina and Bolivia. And lastly, its highest peak is Ojos de Salado.
As we conclude today's main news, let's take a look at some quick updates. Recently, former chairperson of UIDAI talked about Finternet as the future of financial systems at the Global FinTech Fest 2024. It is a vision for the future financial system, multiple financial ecosystems interconnected with each other, much like the internet. Cabinet approved the Ministry of Power's proposal on central financial assistance towards equity participation by the state governments of the northeastern region for hydroelectric projects. The scheme provides for formation of a joint venture company for all projects of a central PSU with the state government. Cabinet approves rolling out private FM radio to 234 uncovered new cities and towns under Private FM Radio Phase 3 policy. In the private FM policy, the focus shifted from medium wave to frequency modulated wave. Once extinct from Europe, northern bald ibis have now returned to the continent. Historically located in the European Alps, Northern Africa, and the Middle East, these are colonial birds that migrate seasonally. They live in groups that also flock together to the migrating habitat. Zoological Survey of India discovers 2 new spider species from Mukambika Wildlife Sanctuary and Karnataka and Ernakulam respectively. They are commonly known as cannibal spiders due to their unique predatory behavior. Researchers from the Center for Nano and Soft Matter Sciences have developed a security alert system based on piezoelectric polymer nanocomposite. It is an autonomous institute of the Department of Science and Technology. Astronomers have discovered the brightest quasar ever observed, named J05294351, using European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope. The word quasar is short for quasi-stellar radio source. These are the active galactic nuclei and they are powered by supermassive black holes. The WHO has warned that the current Chandipura virus infection in India is the largest in 20 years. It is known to outbreaks of acute encephalitis syndrome in western, central and southern parts of India, especially during the monsoon season. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and for the PDF version, please visit the links in the description below.